SAA was suddenly whisked above the clouds, just moments after being absorbed in his favorite Sunday morning cartoon. Bewildered by his new surroundings, he heard a voice calling out. An angelic figure with cascading golden hair and an aura of undeniable divinity welcomed him to heaven. She introduced herself as Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty. Confused, SAA inquired about his location and the identity of his celestial host. Aphrodite explained that he had ascended to heaven due to a particular test result and would be reincarnated into another world. As his guide, Aphrodite elaborated on the sacred tasks that each inhabitant of the world must fulfill, tailored to their respective roles. Despite his confusion, SAA listened intently. Aphrodite assigned him the role of monster tamer. Although SAA felt stung by the seemingly lowly designation, Aphrodite urged him to check his status window. His modest statistics appeared, and while Aphrodite expressed reservations about his role, she reassured him that even seemingly insignificant roles could hold great significance in the world of Adelheid. Gradually, SAA began to see the potential power and purpose in his new role. Later, SAA couldn't help but marvel at the sheer audacity exuded by Aphrodite. Though she projected an outward appearance of primness and propriety, her true nature revealed a goddess tainted by inner turmoil. Contrary to being a recluse, SAA was actually a high school student grappling with the reality of his celestial surroundings and the inevitable journey awaiting him in another world. Exploring his status window, SAA discovered a detailed item description for something called a capsule ball, piquing his curiosity. Summoning the item from his inventory, he beheld a cool-looking, pokeball-like object. Observing his interaction, Aphrodite explained its function, a tool to tame monsters upon contact. As Aphrodite prepared to initiate his journey to Adelheid, SAA voiced his desire to conduct a test. Despite her reluctant consent, SAA tossed the ball toward her. The ball struck Aphrodite on the head, triggering an indignant outburst as she emphasized her divine status. Yet, to their astonishment, the ball began to glow, drawing Aphrodite into its confines. Trapped within the capsule ball, she implored SAA for release, but he remained resolute, insisting she still had duties to fulfill. As the surreal situation unfolded, SAA couldn't help but acknowledge its peculiarity. He had successfully captured his first monster, a goddess. However, despite this unexpected turn of events, he found himself at a loss regarding what to do next. The notion of becoming a Pokemon master briefly crossed his mind, but he quickly dismissed it, acknowledging that a certain kid from Pallet Town had already claimed that title. Suddenly, a beam of light descended from above, transporting SAA to a vibrant new world teeming with life. Even the flowers seemed to possess consciousness, making the abundance of life unnerving. Recognizing the situation at hand, SAA decided the most rational course of action was to journey toward the nearest town. Along the road, his path was interrupted by the appearance of a goblin, a common adversary in video games and novels. Realizing that his role as a monster tamer didn't lend itself to direct combat, SAA turned to Aphrodite for assistance. Much to his surprise, Aphrodite appeared despondent and resigned, lacking the vigor he had expected. Navigating through the darkness of uncertainty, SAA grappled with the mechanics of the capsule ball. It dawned on him that simply by thinking about it, he could summon its contents. He liberated Aphrodite from her spherical prison. Initially relieved, Aphrodite's emotions quickly shifted from elation to seething rage, a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of their newfound partnership. SAA extended a sincere apology for confining her within the Pokeball, assuring her that no offense was intended. Urging her to keep her voice down due to nearby monsters, SAA observed Aphrodite's confident demeanor as she surveyed their surroundings, spotting nothing more than a humble goblin chasing a bunny rabbit. Impressed by her evident strength, SAA remarked on her natural prowess as a goddess and requested her assistance in driving away the goblin. Agreeing to his proposal, Aphrodite raised her hand, invoking her divine power and authority. The air itself seemed to converge around her, signaling an impending display of extraordinary magic. However, despite her efforts, nothing occurred but eerie silence. Attempting multiple times to cast her magic, Aphrodite's failure left them both bewildered. As the frustrated goblin began to tug at her skirt, she appealed to SAA for help, her incapacity becoming increasingly apparent. With nothing to lose, SAA charged forward, delivering a swift kick to the goblin's face. As the goblin fell unconscious, SAA gained valuable experience points from the encounter and seized the opportunity to capture the goblin using another capsule ball. Meanwhile, Aphrodite found herself overwhelmed with tears over her current predicament. Despite SAA's attempts to lift her spirits, she expressed her dislike for being referred to as Afro, insisting on the more dignified title of Day, given the silky smooth nature of her hair. Curious about Aphrodite's inability to overpower the goblin, SAA questioned why such a minor adversary posed a challenge. Aphrodite explained that divine beings like herself possessed limited power outside of heaven, hindering her ability to wield her anti-world magic effectively, such as her failed attempt with God's breath. Encouraged by Aphrodite, SAA utilized his monster tamer abilities to examine her status. To his astonishment, Aphrodite's stats had drastically plummeted, with only vitality remaining in single digits. She proposed a theory regarding her capture in the capsule ball, attributing it to SAA's divine protection, a rare innate talent bestowed upon select individuals from birth. Originally reserved for eminent historical figures, divine protections acted as inherent abilities. Examining his own status, SAA discovered the presence of the absolute domination skill, granting him unparalleled control over everything and everyone. This divine protection essentially nullified the limitations typically associated with the monster tamer class, allowing him to subdue practically anything, including humans. Astonished by his seemingly impossible abilities, SAA couldn't help but perceive them as anomalies that defied the laws of the world. Noticing an anomaly in his stats, each absurdly and incredibly high, SAA speculated whether the defeated goblin was a hidden boss granting an exceptional amount of experience points. However, even Aphrodite, or Day, as she preferred, dismissed this notion. She attributed SAA's sudden power surge to her capture, explaining that her stats had been transferred to him upon their encounter. This revelation brought hope, as Aphrodite suggested they might expedite their return to SAA's original world. Perplexed by this revelation, SAA sought clarification. Aphrodite elaborated that he was a hero summoned to save the world of Adelheid, destined to defeat the demon lord whose resurrection was foretold shortly after SAA's arrival. With the prophecy fulfilled, he could then return home. Despite Aphrodite's explanation, SAA remained perplexed by the concept of being summoned as a hero to face the impending resurrection of the demon lord in Adelheid. Concerned for the other individuals brought from Earth for the same purpose, SAA's thoughts turned to the potential consequences upon his return home. He questioned Aphrodite about the fate of his abilities post-victory, to which she affirmed that his powers would persist even on Earth, beyond the reach of divine interference. Realizing the implications of his abilities, SAA understood the responsibility that came with wielding such power. While he could bring back items from his capsule balls to Earth, Aphrodite cautioned him against abusing his newfound abilities, warning of divine scrutiny. With these revelations in mind, SAA resolved upon a singular goal during his time in Adelheid. Aphrodite expressed satisfaction with SAA's decision to confront the demon lord willingly. However, SAA harbored another motive undisclosed to her. While defeating the demon lord and returning home remained his ultimate objective, he also aspired to use his absolute domination ability to assemble a harem of humans and monster girls to bring back to Earth. Observing Aphrodite's expression, SAA discerned her unspoken thoughts regarding the hallmark of isekai harems, voluptuous and affectionate women. While acknowledging the allure, SAA remained grounded in his appreciation for modern amenities, like the internet, air conditioning, and indoor plumbing. Thus, his plan involved defeating the demon lord only after creating his ideal harem, a testament to his pragmatic approach amidst fantastical circumstances. Despite Day's ethical reservations, SAA remained steadfast in his determination to fulfill his dream before facing the demon lord. Understanding that her return to heaven depended on SAA's success, Day reluctantly agreed to assist him in his controversial endeavor, marking the beginning of an uneasy partnership.